Hello and Grüß Gott. Today we're going to be installing a skid plate on our 1997 Toyota 4Runner. And this is Toyota part number PT212-35040. And to install it, you're going to need a few tools like a breaker bar, 17mm 6-point socket, 2 torque wrenches, one for high range, one for low range, and we'll discuss that later, and also some Loctite. Comes with brackets and all the hardware you need and instructions. So we're going to swing around to the truck here in a second, and I'll show what it looks like without the skid plate. Okay, so here's what the truck looks like without the skid plate. So we're going to be getting under there and wearing safety glasses, of course, and taking off the tow hooks and the tie down brackets. There's a tow hook on one side and then tie down brackets on both sides. So we're going to use a breaker bar and a 17mm 6-point socket to get those loose and take them off. So I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Okay, on the passenger side, the 2 bolts you're going to be taking loose are here and here. They're 17mm. And you're going to take out this hook and this strap bracket. So we're going to do that first, and then we'll switch to the other side, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Here's the parts I took off the passenger side, or what they call the right-hand side. And so what you're going to end up doing is taking the bracket that's stamped with RH on it for right hand and put it like that. You're going to put these 2 washers on it. I'm going to put Loctite on it. It doesn't say to do that in the instructions, but this is low strength Loctite. Then I'm just going to hand tighten it up in there, and I'll be doing the full tighten later after we install the skid plate itself. So right now you're just going to hand tighten it. So we're going to do that, and we'll be right back. So here's the stock bracket from the driver's side or left-hand side. The bracket here is stamped LH that you're going to install with it. Again, just like the other side, you're going to put it on something like this. 2 washers. Then again, I'm going to put some Loctite on it, and we're just going to put this on just snug at the moment. So this only fits for 4Runners 96 to 98. So some of the 4Runners have a different front bumper after that year. So this whole kit was really made for Tacoma. So again, 96 to 98 4Runners. Any other years, you'll have to make custom brackets. So I'm going to install these, and we'll be right back. Here's the skid plate we're going to install. It comes with these 4 bolts, and it's going to go on the brackets something like this. And then we're going to gap it for 20mm. I'll show you that gapping here in a minute. But what I'm going to do now is put some Loctite on those bolts, and I'm just going to put them in here finger tight at the moment, and we'll come back and make the gapping adjustment, and then we'll start snugging things up, and I'll give you the torque settings. So the skid plates on here are just sort of hand tightened. We're taking a metric ruler, and right in the center, or approximately the center, we measured about a 20mm gap. Then on each side here, it's about 15mm. We made them even. So now what I'm going to do is carefully snug up the bolts. And then these bolts up here on the front get torqued to 27 Newton meters. And then the tie-down hook bolts get torqued to 122 Newton meters. So I'm going to start doing that here in a second, and I'll show you how that's done. All right, I have my snap-on low reading torque wrench set for 27 Newton meters. That's funny, I hardly even had snugged it up and it's already tight. Okay, so that's tight. I'll do the other side, and then I'll take my other torque wrench and I'll tighten up the other brackets. I'll show you that here in a second. Okay, so these are set to 122 Newton meters, and they were hard to get off, so I can see that they take a lot of torque. So I'm going to torque them all, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. All right, so here's the finished skid plate. Took about 15 minutes. We wanted to thank Toyota Parts Zone, our toyotapartszone.com. That's one of our main part sources for Toyota parts, and they give us really great prices and great service. So we'd like to thank them as well. Thanks for watching. Tschüss.